Yesterday, one of my customers from Nigeria came and visited me, and they ordered 5,000 of this bag right on site. Ladies in Nigeria just love this shiny red color and this crocodile leather because it looks elegant and wild. Do you know how much one of these bags costs at boutique? Let me tell you, 30,000 USD. And do you know how much it costs from us? If you buy from us, only less than 1/10 of its price. And we use exactly the same leather, same hardware, same thread, anything exactly the same. And meanwhile, our workers, artisans are the most experienced and intelligent in the world. So why don't you just buy from us? Luxury can be reasonable.
Your mom is real. Don't love me because of no diamonds. Take all this. This bracelet right here look real as a. This shit was $23.
Is wearing a fake Louis Vuitton fanny pack and she didn't know it. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I know that this Louis Vuitton bag.
Speaking to this client here regarding selling her Birkin 30 Gris Etane, if I'm not wrong. Gris Etane is the color and it's palladium hardware. The bag is in box fresh condition but it's Y stamp, which means it's a 2020.
The luxury fashion world has been shaken to its core. Hermès, a name synonymous with wealth, craftsmanship, and elite status, now finds itself at the heart of an explosive scandal that could redefine what luxury even means. For decades, Hermès has built a mythology around its handbags, especially the iconic Birkin and Kelly. These are not just bags, they're cultural symbols, investment pieces, even status trophies with years-long waitlists and sky-high price tags. A Birkin can cost anywhere from $15,000 to over $300,000, depending on the material, size, and exclusivity. But now, that mythology is cracking wide open. Not because of TikTok speculation or tabloid rumors, but due to something far more damning: insider revelations from the very factories where these so-called masterpieces are allegedly being made. Yes, you heard that right. Whistleblowers from Chinese manufacturing plants have come forward, releasing footage and testimonies that claim Hermès bags are not handcrafted in small, romantic French ateliers by lifelong artisans.
Well, Hermès says, made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not a quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Our request, do Hermès next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall in Italy.
Made in China. Or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Instead, they allege that many of these bags are mass-produced, or at least mostly assembled, in high-tech factories in China. These insiders say that Hermès, and potentially other luxury brands, are outsourcing production while still slapping on the coveted Made in France label. In short, they're accusing Hermès of selling a fantasy, a very expensive one, and now, the receipts are out in the open. Videos have surfaced online showing workers in Chinese facilities crafting handbags that appear identical to Hermès prized products. Viewers were stunned by the precision, quality, and detail, features indistinguishable from the bags sold for tens of thousands of dollars in Paris, New York, and Dubai. These clips quickly went viral, racking up millions of views, as internet detectives and luxury aficionados began analyzing stitch patterns, comparing leather grains, and debating authenticity. Some viewers insisted the bags were just super fakes, high-end replicas. But others, including self-proclaimed ex-employees and industry insiders, claimed these were the real deal, actual Hermès inventory being produced offshore to meet rising demand.
This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD.
Have you all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a Made in France or Made in Italy label, and boom, luxury? It's ridiculous.
They say, I want to buy one of these. You know what they say to you? No, we don't have them. First of all, you have to be an Hermès customers. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand. And then you can only buy one.
The latest Hermès bag with me. This is my first bag I got this year. I usually only get one bag a year, and this is the one for this year. And I'm really excited about it.
To understand the gravity of this, you have to understand how much Hermès leans on its heritage narrative. Their entire brand rests on the idea of exclusivity and artisanal perfection. The story goes like this: each Hermès bag is meticulously handcrafted by a single artisan who trains for years before they're allowed to work solo.
Are pieces of artwork. These artisans train years and years to make one of these bags.
Fabrice is doing the last stitching on a Kelly bag. A Kelly takes around 13 hours to be made, depending on the materials that we make it. Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag.
Hermès, you guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary on. Show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
The bags are supposed to take hours, even days, to complete. That's why there's supposedly a shortage. That's why you can't just walk into a store and buy one. That's why they cost as much as a car. But what if that's all just a marketing illusion? The allegations suggest that Hermès may be using a loophole common in the luxury industry. They reportedly produce a significant portion of the bag overseas, cutting, assembling, stitching, and then ship the nearly completed product to France. Once there, a few finishing touches are added, maybe a quality check, and boom, made in France. Legally, that's enough to satisfy labeling requirements. Ethically, though? That's where things get murky. Because consumers aren't just buying a label, they're buying into a belief system. A French artisan's touch. A piece of slow, intentional fashion. And for many, finding out their dream bag may have been made in the same industrial process as a $200 dupe is like learning Santa Claus isn't real. Hermès responded swiftly, but quietly.
It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. Put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
They didn't issue a dramatic public apology or hold a press conference. Instead, their legal teams went into overdrive, filing lawsuits against Chinese manufacturers accused of defamation and unauthorized reproduction. In official statements, Hermès doubled down on its commitment to French craftsmanship and categorically denied outsourcing production of its signature bags. But let's be honest, once footage goes viral, no lawsuit can undo what people have already seen. The damage isn't just reputational. It's psychological. The curtain has been pulled back, and what's behind it doesn't match the fantasy we were sold, and consumers are feeling it deeply. On TikTok, creators began comparing authentic Hermès bags with alleged factory-made versions, and even seasoned collectors struggled to tell them apart. Reddit threads filled up with luxury buyers questioning their past purchases. Some admitted they no longer trusted the Made in France label. Others wondered whether they'd ever truly owned an original. And the anger wasn't just about the price, it was about the betrayal. These bags were supposed to be rare, handcrafted heirlooms. Instead, they might just be mass-produced luxury goods with artisan cosplay layered on top. What's perhaps most shocking isn't just that these factory bags exist, it's how little they cost to make. According to insiders, it takes roughly $500 to $600 in materials and labor to produce a Birkin quality handbag, yet the final product can retail for $15,000, $30,000, or more. That's a markup of up to 65 times. And while luxury always involves a premium for branding, exclusivity, and experience, this gap is so wide it feels almost comical. Suddenly, the dream of investment handbag starts to feel less like a smart financial move and more like a very expensive illusion. This isn't just a Hermès problem. Once the scandal broke, internet sleuths began turning their gaze toward other luxury powerhouses.
Where is that? I've seen movies.
Got you right here. This is a CF Rolex I got from Shenzhen for only 120 USD, and it still ticks. Everything is perfect.
Watches come in different sizes. A small dial makes you always slimmer, while a large one makes you a stronger error. First of all, you need to determine your budget range. The fullest data dress is the best choice for cost effective.
Prada, Louis Vuitton, even Chanel, all came under scrutiny. Reports resurfaced claiming Prada has long assembled bag components in China before finishing them in Italy to qualify for the Made in Italy label. Louis Vuitton was allegedly outsourcing parts of its monogram canvas line to factories in Spain and the US while selling the products under the aura of Parisian prestige. And Chanel? While they've been quieter in public, industry insiders have whispered for years about outsourcing parts of their supply chain. The luxury curtain, it seems, is fraying at the edges. So, what does this mean for the future of luxury? For one, it exposes a harsh reality. Many luxury brands are not necessarily selling better products, they're selling better stories. The story of the French atelier, the lone artisan, the rare materials, the scarcity, the exclusivity. That story is what justifies the price.
It's the Chinese supply behind product. Bags are from Siton Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
He started making his boots in China, and that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the UGG boot that like most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing UGG boots, and they were always the cool surfer kid.
Those bags I cut open, just expensive, nothing special. But a few truly exceptional.
Thing is as humbling as your daughter drawing on your $60,000 Birkin, am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was gonna tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw on mommy's purse?
Literally spent $60,000 on this purse. Look what my daughter did to my purse.
Not just the product. And when that story collapses, even slightly, the whole value proposition starts to unravel. Because if a $600 bag can look and feel exactly like a $30,001, what are you really paying for? But there's another, deeper issue at play here. This controversy also calls out a long-standing bias, the idea that made in China equals poor quality. That stigma is outdated and, frankly, inaccurate. Modern Chinese factories, especially those used by luxury and tech brands, are among the most advanced in the world. They use cutting-edge technology, have highly skilled workers, and produce everything from iPhones to aerospace components. The only thing separating made in China from made in France in the luxury world may not be quality, it's perception. And that perception is something brands have spent decades and billions of dollars cultivating. So now we arrive at a crossroads. Hermès may very well win its lawsuits. It may prove that the whistleblower bags were unauthorized copies or that its production methods are within legal bounds. But none of that addresses the core issue, consumer trust. When a brand built on the idea of authenticity has to shout, "We're real," it signals a much deeper problem. That mystique, that aura, that almost holy reverence for luxury. Once it's cracked, it doesn't mend easily. The fashion world is watching. Investors are watching. And perhaps most importantly, consumers are watching, with clearer eyes than ever before. The illusion has been pierced. The trust has been shaken. And whether or not Hermès can stitch it all back together remains to be seen. Because in a world where secrets are just one viral video away from exposure, luxury brands must ask themselves, can the old rules of secrecy and storytelling survive in an era demanding transparency? Or has the age of luxury illusions finally come to an end?